want you bad as ever. Don't let me just let up.
All right, people, we're back. And as I float back down to Earth, welcome, it's a Koopa. Magic times are ahead of you. And today we're doing solo Dragon Quest, doing a little vocation time. Vocation shine. And we're getting armed, we're getting dangerous. We're talking about personalities in our podcast, as you can see by the podcast thing title that I put up. If that is still what the title is, I don't fucking know. But what I wanted to discuss here is, you know, the power. Not giving a fuck. But no, seriously, guys. There's a certain energy, there's a certain flow to truly getting what you want, and a lot of that is detachment. But we can get more specific when I truly get into it. Hope everybody's having a good whatever day I upload this on, and I will do a little bit of story spoilers, summaries for what the fuck we're doing today. So like I said last time, most of the vocation quests, most of it is just the traveling to different countries and whatnot, and figuring out where those pesky monsters are. So last time we slapped up one of the monsters from Karamui, Eltona, and now we're in Puku, gonna help out the same kind of monsters. These are Verenard exclusives. And they're gonna be basically around, you know, the castle. This is the same kind of thing. And essentially, we're gonna learn a little bit more about why this is happening. All that good stuff. We'll probably just do 2 quests today. I don't really have too much to talk about on this topic, so we'll probably just do 2 quests. And move on. You know. So yeah, let's get into this. I don't mean to drone on and on about these boring gameplay that you obviously don't care about. You're obviously here to hear me ramble on about stupid shit. I know you. I know your type. Okay. My coffee ready? So guys, don't take this the wrong way. I mean, I feel like if you do take this the wrong way, you're just, you know, I'm just throwing stones. If one of them hits you, you know, you might be in the wrong house. But the thing is about today, most people are fake. Most people are horrible. Most people aren't real. Most people are diabolical, and disgusting. And so we have to sort of develop this sixth sense of evil. You know, this sixth sense of when this person's gonna fuck me over. This sixth sense of, you know, true heartful and kindness, and what does love look like, and all this other bullshit or whatever. I mean, if you want to survive and succeed and truly grow forth, I feel like success now is sort of just being sustainable in general, because Jesus, man, very, very hard to just live a normal life, in my opinion. You know, I don't think I'm a very normal person. I feel like I've tried to live a normal life. I don't feel like I'm a normal person though, and I feel like a lot of people who are just average guys kind of fall into the same trap where it's like, you know, I think I've, you know, tried to sort of follow the guidelines that were set before me, but all in all, because I've lived for this long, you know, I've gotten a small slice of the sample space of what my life is supposed to be, and I'm not pleased. It's a lot of bullshit, and as far as I'm concerned, it's not really what you know, masculinity and guys and people. It's not really what I expected it to be. You know, when I stepped out into the real world, I expected, you know, not girls. Girls I kind of understood, and I knew they were just going to be bullshit and terrible to me from the get-go. So, you know, I never really was mad that I never. Actually, let me take that back. I actually had pretty good success with women, probably because of that. But what really confused me about life is the fact that a lot of guys, really, you know, very deceitful, very confused, but all in all, very self-serving. And that's not a bad thing. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just involves, you know, your survival instincts that you've been fucking fed all life, because, you know, it's not easy to live. But where I'm going with this, guys, is a lot of people are fake, deceitful. They have to do these crazy things to fucking live, even, you know. So because of that, we have to have this crazy sense of who is bad and who is good. And for the longest time, I didn't believe my own sense, my own intuition. I was like, fuck that, you don't know. You don't know. Give everybody the benefit of a doubt, even when they double cross you and tell you, you know, that oh no, I didn't do that. It was I'm a good person. Blah blah blah. That's not really me. And I would see their actions towards other people that were really bad, and I'd be like, they'd never do that to me. Blah blah blah. All this stuff. Still have a good opinion of them. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I've slowly honed that ability, and now I kind of want to get rid of it. No. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because my personality. I'm kind of a crazy person. I mean, not kind of. I just have a lot of thoughts, you know? And the thing about crazy people is that they just have a lot of shit going on at the same time, right? So they tend to, if they don't, you know, suppress it and, you know, try to act super normal like everyone else. Since there's so much going in and out of my head at any given time, I tend to express a lot of it physically, you know, since feel better than, you know, having it all mentally cramped up in there. And what I've noticed is because of that, a lot of the crazy, over exuberant, emotional people get automatically mistaken for someone who is almost actively fucking you over. Not even somebody who has or will, no, somebody who is actively fucking you over. Because, let me get this, you know, clear to you guys. Well, before I even get to that, we really don't, you know, like things we don't understand. That's not a fan of, you know, most humans. If I don't understand it, I don't want to be around it. A lot of people are very afraid of topics, people, things they don't fully comprehend or get all the pieces to. And a lot of people can't get the physicality of someone with a lot of mental clarity. Especially when I want to express it, it comes off as inauthentic or weird or just something different. Because, you know, if you have all these damn movements, it's one of the reasons why I'm so glad I don't like do camera shit on this, because, you know, I used to have terrible camera presence because I was a theater actor, and I would do insane movements on camera that weren't, you know, what normal people did. I would do over exaggerated movements on camera that looked awkward, when in reality that is literally how I do things. And a little tangent here. This is why I really liked one of my first jobs. I worked at a juice bar. And this juice bar was a little different because they actively encouraged you to act like a fucking dumbass behind the bar and be like, nope, that is what our culture is. You know, you have to show off. You have to give a performance. You have to flip the blender can and, you know, do a little backflip and, you know, dance around a little bit. And I'm like, that's how I cook anyways, you know? So it really was a huge culture fit for me. But, you know, like most jobs, it just kind of falls off. I guess I'll go into that in another episode on why, you know, general corporatism doesn't really work for me. You know, working for another person's dime. But, you know, essentially with the personality thing, I tend to get met with a lot of opposition that doesn't know the full scope. And then even then, when I explain the full scope, it just makes me, well, first of all, it makes me hella less attractive. You know, I mean, because the thing is, attraction is magnetism, and people are attracted to you still, even if they don't like you, because you're still magnetic. So if they don't understand you, you're still attractive to them, because, you know, we're attracted, we're naturally drawn to things that are different. But, yeah, it brings me a lot of unwarranted attention. And a lot of, unwarranted expectations. You know, people put a lot of thoughts into my head. And, you know, we are our own drivers of our own, you know, vehicles. Of course, you have a choice on whether to engage upon those things or not. Of course. Utilize your brain, you know. But honestly, guys, if it's someone you respect, if it's someone you love and cherish, You're gonna be like, well, maybe I just have a dumb personality that's too weird and I have to tone myself down. So, you know, for a long time, that is what I did. And now I realize it's nature in me to do this. I'm not being like, you know, like the whole shift in culture now with the whole performative male. It's not me being a performative male. I realize without a camera, without a social media channel, without fucking friends, I still do the same thing. And so now I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make my own friends once again. You know, just go and keep on making new and new and new, and don't just randomly be mean to people because they are mean back to you. Even still, coming in with kindness is my first initial instinct. But you know, when I suspect that someone suspects me, I'm just gonna disengage. You know, I'm not gonna fucking still try to convince you that I am some true virtuous person. You know, if you get like a little inkling that I'm not there for you, I can usually detect that, and I detect that as, oh no, what's happening here? You know, used to be like, oh God, I gotta fix them. I have to help them see the light that not everybody is. Nah, man. And that's the thing about people nowadays, especially these crazy intuition-like motherfuckers. They have this like superiority God complex. They have to fix the world, and we really don't. I mean, of course, we may fix the world by, you know, virtuous acts of trying to fix ourselves and our, you know, immediate community. But yeah, every person that comes along and has some sort of crazy assumption about the state of your personality or mental well-being, you don't have to give stake to that. You don't have to give stock to that. And for the longest time, I was taking a lot of criticism that wasn't based on true facts. It was based on opinionated observations. And everybody has those. Every single motherfucker's got those. You may not realize that you are weaponizing yours. But the thing is, you know, it's never a weapon to someone with, you know, a huge ass. You know, like, imagine if you brought a butterfly knife and this guy's got like this giant riot shield. You know, like, it's not really a weapon. And that's what people imagine I am. I've always been tall. I've always had a very clean facial structure. I've always been funny. And I've always endeavored to grow my brain. Because, you know, like I said, it's the only thing that keeps working, even while I sleep. One of the many reasons why YouTube is one of the greatest inventions of all time. I can just turn that on and then, you know, lull myself directly to slumber tone, you know. White noise is very helpful because I hate dreams. I really do. Most of my dreams that I remember are something that is very normal and mundane in life that just has like one really weird, awkward part about it. And it freaks me out because I think most of my dreams are real life until that one thing happens and I'm just like, oh, fuck. And then I usually wake up like pretty soon afterwards, but it's literally like one small detail. You know, I can be like in my room playing Dragon Quest with my mic, you know, doing everything normal, and then I just look to my left and my TV is an elephant. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm dreaming. Let me just wake up now. Like, I don't like that feeling. I'm not a fan. And those are the ones I remember. Now, I do have ones that are just like, oh, I'm falling, and then I wake up crazily, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of my brain doing things to me that I did not give it permission to do, essentially. And that's a thing, man. That's a true fear for a lot of the people with crazy neuroticism. It's one of the reasons why I tend to keep just things that I don't want to interact with out of the house. You know, you got sweets, you got crazy paraphernalia or liquor, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't keep that shit in my house if I don't want to, you know, engage with it. But essentially that's more of like a habit forming technique. There are explicit things about the personality that you're never gonna change. You can form new habits around them. You know, habits are way different from personality because the thing is, you can sort of CBT yourself with that shit. But I think our intrinsic nature is something that we really need to lean in on more. A lot of people just don't care what they think about or what other people portray them as. I'm like, you have to at the very least understand yourself. you know, and maybe you can stop there. But for me, I'm looking for the understand myself and alchemize it, make it palatable for, you know, wider audience to scope in. Maybe you'll learn a little bit from the story. Who knows? But for now, subscribe. We did it, guys. Personality. Let's go.
Don't let me just let up. I wanna give you better. Baby, it's whatever. Somebody gotta